all started in a small village of Yumokro. There was a woman called Madam Busy. She was known for her delicious meals across the village. Her food was always sweet and hot, even in the cold weather, nobody knows why. She never hired a sales girl nor a sales boy. Every day in the market, she always bought food from her colleagues to eat or give her husband. Madam Busy ran a big restaurant in the heart of the village market, popularly known as Madam Busy Food. Every morning by 6:50 a.m. she was already cooking, her pot bubbling with rice, beans, soups, and swallows of every kind. But there was something strange about Madam Busy's food, nobody talks about. No matter how much she cooked, her pot never seemed to run empty, neither do her meat finishes. Villagers would whisper, puzzled by how Madam Busy always had enough food, yet never hired anyone to help her. Day after day, year after year, the mystery grew deeper. The truth. Madam Busy had a secret, the terrible secret she had sworn to keep forever. Her fame spread beyond her village. Everyone craved her meals. Even travelers from faraway towns came just to taste Madam Busy's cooking. Her close neighbors began to whisper, "How is Madam Busy's food always hot and ready, even when no firewood burns under the pot? Why does the food never seem to finish, no matter how many people she serves?" The suspicion kept growing. Long ago, before Madam Busy food grown bigger, she was a roadside food seller who never finishes selling her food no matter how small or big the quantity of food she cooks. Not because her food is not delicious nor anything, she keeps warming food that she cooked freshly every day. This always makes her uncomfortable. She tried switching her duty roster, her days of cooking and time she used to come, but all to no avail. It even seems more badly than ever. One of the pains that always weak her the most is that her neighbors always ask her for plates to serve people who came to their shop. She complained to people randomly what she's passing through every day in her spot. One night Madam Busy was sitting down at her shop, waiting if she could see anyone who would come around to buy food. One of the men he told what she was passing through came. His name is Mr. Luke, a security man working inside a nearby general hospital near Madam Busy's shop. She told her that let him have few words with her. Madam Busy agreed. She told her that all she needs to know for her business to boom, she needs to has a secret. He told her that every business she sees around has a secret that keeps their business moving and booming. Madam Busy frozen for the first time hearing that. For some minutes she couldn't talk. She kept staring at the old man. Being someone who desperately needs to boom in her business like others. She asked the old man what the secret is all about. Mr. Luke, seeing at her seriousness, he told her to meet him in the hospital mortuary the next day by 6 p.m. He stand up and left. That night Madam couldn't sleep comfortable. She was busy thinking about the conversation she had with Mr. Luke. Someone thought maybe those of her neighbors who do sell have secret or something they have in their cupboard that attract such customers for them. She made up her mind to take whatever the case may be, that she wants to succeed in her business like no other. The next day in the hospital, Madam Busy came to look for Mr. Luke. She went down to the mortuary block. Luckily for her, she saw him. Mr. Luke told her before he will let her know anything, that she has to swear to keep it secret between the both of them. Madam Busy agreed. She did as she was directed. Mr. Luke told her that once it's 12 o'clock a.m. that she will know the secret. At the appointed time, Madam Busy started seeing flashy cars coming into the hospital. Each of them, whenever they come in, they go straight to the mortuary side. Later on they will move away. She saw many cars she couldn't even keep records of their number. Mr. Luke needs her. After attending to the people who met him, he asked her, "What did you see?" Madam Busy said, "A lot of acts coming in and out." Mr. Luke now told her that all these cars you see are coming here for leftovers water used in watching the corpse. Madam Busy was shocked. He told her it's her turn to take it back home, that she will be using it for cooking. Whenever she's done cooking, she should spray it in her cooked food. Doing it this way that she will never run out of customers and her name will be at the mouth of everyone living in this town. Madam Busy was happy. She agreed immediately despite having a little bit of scared in her. She tried it the next day. Before she could carry her food to her main spot, her food finished. This act instantly gave her joy. She went back to Mr. Luke in order to appreciate him. That's where her demonic character started. Mr. Luke told her that every money she gets from her business will be split between the both of them, and she needs to rank up for her business to boom in the whole village. He told her that she needs to be doing sacrifice every new week, and each time she do that, she will upgrade. Madam Busy agreed, knowing fully well that this was what gave her first big sales of her life. That day before shift the hospital, she bought 2 gallons of the wastewater from the mortuary attendant. Madam Busy did it again, and after she is done cooking, she will spray it in her food before leaving to carry market. She did this for several months.
4, 5.
And now her colleague could no longer meet up quarter of the sales Madam Busy made in a day. People keep telling Madam Busy to hire salesmen since her business is big, so she can have a helping hands. Madam Busy declined cause she knew it has a consequences to pay if she do so. And her secret would be exposed. Not long Madam Busy noticed that her business needs to be upgraded. This time around she reached out to Babulawo, who helped her and make up another charm for her. She opened her big restaurant in the heart of the market and named it Busy Foods, and her business keeps making moves. Suddenly something changed. This time around she no longer uses charm, either do she uses leftover water used to bath the cups. She now uses her urine. As early as 3 o'clock in the morning. Madam Busy will be the only one in the market. By that time she will carry the urinate, spray it at the front of her restaurant, and use the remaining one to cook. Before the road gets busy in the morning, her restaurant will be filled up with people buying food and alcohol. Once others come out, she will buy food from them and give an accordement to give her husband at home. One night, her husband confronted her, asking her why is it she no longer cook at home, neither do she serve him food from home. Why must everything be outside? And why is she coming home late? Madam Busy pleased her husband. Inside the room, Madam Busy is no longer uncomfortable with life. She is now living the life of her dream. But one thing is off: her husband. The way her husband keeps staring at her every night, and the way he keeps talking about her not cooking food at home keeps her. So she came up with an idea to divorce her husband. One afternoon, Madam Busy lawyer served her husband a divorce papers telling him to sign up before the next 7 days, that he should go through them and sign. He also told him that the papers are from his wife. Busy husband couldn't hold up. He called his wife to ask why. Only to be switched off. He tried several times, several days, but all to no avail. On the 5th day he went to her wife's restaurant, only see that it has been locked up. He asked people about whereabouts of her wife, but he was told that the restaurant haven't opened for days now. He left feeling devastated. At home he took the documents and read them to know the context of the papers. He came across a letter her wife left with the documents. In the letter, she told her husband to move on with his life and continue, that the both of them are not of the same level, neither are they compatible, that he should move on with his life and never think of her again. She pinned $10,000 to the letter and covered it with the documents. After he read it, he couldn't hold tears, knowing fully well that was her wife's handwriting. Tears rolled down heavily. He wrote a piece of letter and attached it back with the documents. He went off with the money and left the house to another city. Not so fast. The news spread so fast in the city that Madam Busy has been divorced. Some people were rejoicing over the news. Men were happy, but her colleagues in the same business line wasn't. They knew that something was off somewhere. Her news was in the mouth of everybody in the city, as if she is a celebrity. Some of her colleagues set out a secret movement to know what's the reason behind her business, her divorce, and how she doesn't run out of food, even after serving more than 8,000 people food every day. They meet Madam Busy husband, asked him what's the reason for the divorce. Madam Busy husband told them how he received those papers from the lawyer and all that. They asked him if he had any issue with his wife recently that he thinks might lead to the divorce. That the only problem he once complained to his wife recently is her lateness when coming back from work and how she doesn't cook food at home anymore. The people said okay. They told him to take heart and told him that they would talk to her. They left. Little did Madam Busy husband know that he just gave those people a hint of what they are looking for. After the incident, the next day in the market Madam Busy came as usual and people were coming to buy food from her. This time around she now has a car. This her growth wasn't okay with her colleagues at all. Some press do come to her shop to interview her about her business, while some brands are using her for ambassador. Her face was at the billboard of every road at the city. Everything night radio station do talk about her business and do uses her as good example for others business owners. But one night, Madam Busy dreamed of Mr. Luke warning her, never let anyone see what's inside the pot, never. She awoke trembling, terrified. But she ignored the dream, too focused on her growing success. One fateful afternoon, while Madam Busy was serving a customer, another man quietly slipped behind the counter to serve himself. But when he lifted the lid of her giant pot, he froze in horror. Inside, a massive python coiled and swirled in the soup, its eyes glowing faintly beneath the bubbling surface. Squirting out saliva. The man screamed. The entire shop erupted in chaos. City fled, terrified. Everyone gathered shouting, press were everywhere filming the place, and interviewing people asking them how it happened. Some cursed Madam Busy, others fainted in shock. While many destroyed her big restaurant popularly known as Busy Food. The news was out everywhere. Some individuals were at TikTok filming it immediately. The whole city was in fire talking about the news. One of the listeners on radio said there's no need to beat her to death. That she should confess what she has been using all this while, cause the whole city has almost bought from her food plaza. Unaware of the horrifying truth beneath every bite. People were saying a lot of things at the radio station, podcast, and at the TV news. In the midst of the confusion, Madam Busy tried to explain, but no one listened. Mr. Luke's warning echoed in her mind. Never let anyone see what's inside the pot. Later that night, Madam Busy went with the police to Mr. Luke's house for further explanations, but when they reached his home, they found him lying lifeless on the floor, dead. He had died without ever telling Madam Busy.
What would happen now that her secret was exposed? Left with no guidance, Madam Busy became desperate.
Madam!
Her shop and car was burned down by the angry villagers. And the question still remains, what do you think they should do to Madam Busy? Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to watch more interesting stories and turn on your notifications bell to be notified when next we upload a new video.